in the opening match of Group A. Fans now packed in here to this fantastic state-of-the-art stadium, and the hosts get things going here this evening. Argentina, along with Uruguay, the most successful teams in the event, but that hides Argentina's more recent failings. The last Argentina success came 18 years ago. In fact, now Argentina have won this event only twice since 1960. But they are the favourites this time around, ahead of defending champions Brazil, who beat Argentina in the final in Venezuela 4 years ago. But given the depth of Sergio Batista's squad, that favourites tag comes as no real surprise. But there is a great air of expectancy here in Argentina ahead of this tournament this year. Will it be a pressure which becomes too much for this Argentina squad? You can see it's cold. Plenty of fans here have got plenty of layers on. The temperature hovering just above freezing now, as we await the emergence here of the two sets of players. So a look at the two teams for you in this opening game this evening. Argentina's team is one of South American Galacticos, and they come no bigger than World Player of the Year Lionel Messi, who will want to win over the rather critical Argentine supporters. It's 2 days short of a year since the World Cup defeat against Germany, and there are only 5 survivors tonight. Only Nicolas Berizzo starts in defence, and under a weight of public pressure, Carlos Tevez has been preferred to Angel Di Maria of Real Madrid. The wind and the rain of Manchester might have been just too much for Tevez, but that's almost tropical compared with the freezing conditions here tonight. Ezequiel Lavezzi starts up front, with Aguero, Milito and Higuain all rested down on the bench for this opening game tonight. Bolivia, you know, they could be on a hiding to nothing here, huge underdogs, but with that comes no fear and no pressure. They base their system around lone striker Marcelo Moreno, who was once on the books of Wigan and now plays in the Ukraine with Shakhtar Donetsk. He's one of just 5 players in the squad who play club football outside of Bolivia. Ronald Rauda is a mainstay in defence, plays here in Argentina, and midfielder Eduardo Roja wins just his 3rd cap. He plays in Portugal with Naval. Jaime Robles and Walter Flores, the 2 sitting midfield players, and therefore they're the men on Messi watch here tonight. So we've had the opening ceremony here this evening, and now all the fans here desperate for the action to get underway. And there is some history between these two sides in the not too distant past. They last met in April of 2009, a game with a quite remarkable scoreline of Bolivia 6, Argentina 1. That was in qualifying for the last World Cup, when a certain Diego Maradona was still in charge of Argentina, part of their very inconsistent qualifying campaign for the World Cup in South Africa last year. But Argentina here desperate for revenge. That defeat happened in the Bolivian capital, La Paz, at very high altitude, which was certainly a factor in the performance, but a scoreline which shocked not just the Argentine public, but the entire continent. And Bolivia will be hoping for something similar in terms of results, if not the scoreline, in this opening match here this evening. Argentina 14 times Copa America champions, and finalists in each of the last 2 events, and beaten in both of those finals by Brazil. And Bolivia themselves are one of a clutch of teams who have sampled success in this event in the past. They won the trophy back in 1963, back on home soil. And it seems as though the fans have been waiting an age, but finally the 2 sets of players emerge here at the Estadio Ciudad de la Plata, and a fantastic noise, a great ovation welcomes the teams here this evening. first two teams to take to the field in this year's Copa America. The first two teams to play in Group A, group which also contains the dark horses of Colombia and the invitees of Costa Rica. But a chance for the hosts here and the favourites Argentina to lay down a real marker. So many big names here in this tournament, but none bigger than Lionel Messi. With players lined up and the photographers waiting as well. Now it is time for the two national anthems here of Argentina and of Bolivia in La Plata.
A continuación, escucharemos el himno nacional de Bolivia en la interpretación de la banda Azul Azul.
Bolivianos, helado propicio, coronó nuestros votos y anhelos. Sea libre este suelo, ya cesó su servil condición. Al estruendo marcial que hay en fuera y al clamor de la guerra horroroso, siguen hoy en contraste armonioso, dulces himnos de paz y de unión. Siguen hoy en contraste armonioso, dulces himnos de paz y de unión. De la patria el alto nombre, en glorioso esplendor conservemos, y en sus alas de nuevo juremos morir antes que esclavos vivir, morir antes que esclavos vivir, morir antes que esclavos vivir.
The excitable tones of the Bolivian anthem and their small band of travelling fans there. And now the turn of the Argentinian national anthem. There's the coach, Sergio Batista, a former World Cup winner with Argentina.
Oíd, mortales, el grito sagrado. Libertad, libertad, libertad. Oíd el ruido de rotas cadenas. Ve dentro no a la noble igualdad, ya su trono dignísimo abrieron las provincias unidas del sur. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino salud. Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir, coronados de gloria, vivamos. Oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir.
So the cheers of an expectant nation. A nation desperate to end their trophy droughts. They've not won anything now since the Copa in 1993 back in Ecuador, when Alfio Basile was the man in charge.
Hablo en nombre de todos los jugadores que participan en esta Copa América.
Just a word here before the match from Javier Mascherano, the Argentine captain.
Quiero que los niños, las niñas y los adolescentes sean protegidos de toda forma de discriminación. Invito al mundo a que suscriba este compromiso para la infancia. Con tu firma ganan los chicos.
Mascherano spreading the message of fair play and of the importance of this event in this part of the world. It's the 14th encounter between these two sides in the Copa America. Bolivia have won just 2 games of the previous 13, and both of those were back in La Paz, in the Bolivian capital, in 1979 and 1963. They are a team who don't travel very well at all. In fact, it's now over 3 years since they last won away from Bolivian soil. The two teams will now pose for the customary team photographs. Kickoff is now just a few moments away. Here's a wonderful squad of great talents for Argentina, particularly in the attacking side of the game, although they have developed into a far more efficient unit in the reign so far of Sergio Batista. He's been saying he wants his team to play in a more Barcelona-style mode of play, to try and get the best finally out of Lionel Messi, who is still yet to really hit the heights on the international stage. There are 12 referees assigned for this tournament, 1 from each nation. And the first to blow a whistle in anger is from Uruguay, Roberto Silveira, with his assistants from Uruguay and Ecuador. He was also in charge the last time these two sides met, as I mentioned, that incredible 6-1 success for Bolivia in La Paz a couple of years back. Bolivian captain there is the extremely experienced Ronald Raúdez. Part of their back four, they play a 4-2-3-1 formation. Will try and be a stifling job on the talent of Argentina in the early stages here, at least. So 50,000 fans here waiting for the game to get underway. The 700th match in the history of the Copa America, a tournament which began 95 years ago. Full of history, full of significant moments down the years. And what will the next 3 weeks provide? It's a damp evening, a chilly evening, but perfect for football.
Lucas Biglia. 16, Sergio Aguero. 18, Javier Pastore. 20, Fernando Gago. 22, Diego Milito. Director técnico, Sergio Batista.
So the final checks being performed by our team of officials here. Argentina, of course, in their famous blue and white stripes. And Bolivia in the green shirts will get this game and the tournament underway. Team who are ranked 97th in the world, taking on the world's best here tonight.
Ronald Rivero. 16, Ronald Raldes. 15, Jaime Robles. 10, Joselito Vaca. 6, Walter Flores. 21, Yasmani Campos. 7, Edivaldo Rojas.
The show is underway. The eyes of the world are on Argentina as the 2011 Copa America gets underway. 12 nations, 26 matches, and some of the biggest names in football's glitterati taking centre stage. The pre-tournament talking ends here, and now finally it's the time for football to come to the fore. Bolivia playing from left to right in this first half here. First touch, the first involvement for their lone striker Marcelo Moreno. He will have a tough task here this evening. He won't have too much support from midfield, but he will try and get at perhaps what is the weak spot of this Argentine side, their defence, which has been much changed since the World Cup last year. Their exits at the hands of Germany, that 4-0 defeat in Cape Town in the quarter-finals. Only one player from that back four, Bediso, starts again here this evening. Lionel Messi. There was a buzz of expectation when he gains possession of the ball. He's yet to really take centre stage in the major tournaments for Argentina. He's scored just 3 goals so far in his couple of the World Cups and the Copa America. Here's Carlos Tevez. So much uproar over the past couple of months, a will he, won't he saga, whether or not he would be in this Argentine squad for the tournament. It was the big selection dilemma for Batista to play either Tevez or Angel Di Maria in the forward line for this opening game. Tevez, the man who gets the nod. And Argentina here, who get the first set piece of the tournament. It's quickly taken, but too quickly for the liking of our Uruguayan referee. So Lionel Messi and Eva Banega standing over the ball. Milito has moved forward and Bediso from defence here. First test of this Bolivian back line. Dinked in by Messi, free header. And it was the first chance. And it went the way of Carlos Tevez. There was no flag for offside. Pretty simple free kick routine, just the ball dinked in. You can see the flag rightly stayed down. Tevez there had more time than I think he realised. Who scored 13 goals in his Argentina career, 3 of those in the Copa America. Has been in decent form when he has played in recent months. He scored in 4 of his last 5 internationals, including a goal in the last warm-up game, a 4-0 success against Albania a couple of weeks ago. Ezequiel Lavezzi turning on the burners and sprinting forward and going down. Well, a glance there towards the referee, who was unmoved. Mascherano with the tackle. There's great pace there from Lavezzi, the man from Napoli. Certainly a talking point in the early stages. I'm sure we'll see that again in a moment or two. Messi applying the pressure here. The ball back with the Bolivian keeper Carlos Arias. Here's Banega of Valencia. Dispossessed by Edivaldo Rojas. Foul on Bediso. Here's Messi. Comfortably beating 2 challenges. Feeding Carlos Tevez. Rahal on the overlap. Tevez once more. Ignore Cambiasso and picks out Banega. On towards Cambiasso now. The header away was from Flores. Rojo is the youngest member of this Argentine squad, the left back. He plays his club football with Spartak Moscow. He was born here in La Plata, formerly of Estudiantes, the Argentine side who play their football here. Argentinian club football, which is still rocking after the shock relegation of River Plate a couple of weeks back. Huge fallouts in the wake of that as well. There was mass disturbances at the famous old El Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires at the end of that game, and some severe repercussions for the club in the wake of that. Messi coming deep again. Banega. Quite a high line being played here by Bolivia, which could be a dangerous ploy. Tevez. Drifting inside again. For the second time, the referee not awarding Argentina a set-piece opportunity in and around the box. Get odds of 11-10 for Argentina to win the Copa America ahead of Brazil at 2-1. Argentina a 5-1 on to win the group. It's a section which, on paper, you'd imagine should provide few problems. Only really Colombia, who are the dark horses, could provide a tough examination. Typical Carlos Tevez there, great determination. And just penalised for the foul. Feeling was that Sergio Batista, the Argentinian coach, did not want to pick Tevez for this tournament, but he would have incurred the wrath of the fans if he had have left him out. Messi might be the best player in the squad, but Tevez is the man who has the affection and the adoration of the supporters in this country. Lorca Alvarez for Bolivia. Pressure by Moreno on Javier Zanetti, who this evening wins his 142nd cap for Argentina. At 37 years of age, a man who was left out of the World Cup, of course, last year by Maradona. Same goes for Esteban Cambiasso, his Inter Milan clubmate, but both restored by Batista. Well played here by Banega. He makes his competitive debut tonight. Zanetti once again. Still Zanetti going on. Great pace from the veteran. And he's earned his side the corner. Does have a remarkable work rate and a remarkable energy, given his veteran status. Short corner from Argentina. Messi around the outside of Gutierrez. Behind again for another corner. Messi's 57th cap tonight. Banega this time with the corner. Header away was by Luis Gutierrez, but picked up by Tevez. Lovely ball back out wide once again. Banega with 6 to aim for here. Appeals for handball. The challenge is from Ronald Rivero. The assistant was perfectly placed and gave just the corner. Argentina's third of the opening 9 minutes. Deeper one this time. It was met by Bediza. Touch away was by Jaime Robles. Back in towards Cambiasso. Milito lurking in there as well. There was still no flag. It's Banega. Came off the shins of Cambiasso. It's Joselito Vaca. There have been some question marks about the pitch here in La Plata. There has been extensive work carried out on this stadium over the past couple of months. Also the opening ceremony here as well tonight as Messi goes on one of his typical surging runs. And he's slipped the ball through, but the flag is up this time. Lavezzi, the man denied. And I mentioned earlier those two sitting midfield players for Bolivia who are trying to keep tabs on Messi. But they're certainly failing so far. Several yards offside there, Lavezzi. He scored his first goal for his country against Albania last month in the last friendly before the tournament. They had some embarrassing scorelines, Argentina, with what was largely a B squad in a couple of the games at the end of May. They lost 4-1. Pretty controversial game away in Nigeria. A few days later they lost 2-1 against Poland. Cambiasso. The corner has been given. Julio Alvarez, the man who was tight-sim defensively. Plays his club football in Bolivia with Bolivar, making his fourth appearance at the Copa America. Predictably, Bolivia largely on the back foot as Banega swings the corner in. Is given against Messi. Scored a couple of goals in the last Copa America in 2007. So this is dart forward a few moments ago, leaving defenders in his wake, as has been the way pretty much all season, playing with the European club champions Barcelona. Change of footwear for Messi. There is Sergio Batista, the Argentine coach, hoping to be the man to end Argentina's 18-year wait for a major title, hoping to achieve that in front of their own fans here. Infringement there is given against Bediza. Just came through the back of Marcelo Moreno. It's an innovation in the Copa America here. The referee placing a tape on the pitch to mark out the 10 yards so there can be no hint of encroachment for the defensive wall. It's Moreno here who might well fancy this free kick chance. Sergio Romero yet to be tested in the Argentinian goal. He might be here. It was a pretty tame free kick in the air. Who began every game at the World Cup last year, Sergio Romero, now 24 years of age, his 18th cap tonight for Argentina. Has been linked with moves away from AZ, where he plays his club football in Holland. Zanetti. Now Mascherano. Tough ball to control for Javier Zanetti. 28 caps ahead of his nearest rival in the pecking order for Argentina. Second on the list is Roberto Ayala. Zanetti's debut for Argentina came way back in 1994. Now playing in his 5th Copa tournament. It's his 20th Copa appearance tonight. Messi. Banega. Messi again. Slips the pass forward, on towards Lavezzi. venting his frustrations towards the assistant Lavezzi. Doesn't feel things have gone his way here early on. Lovely drop of the shoulder from Messi. Intricate pass forward. Was good defensive covering by Luis Gutierrez, who's had a busy start tonight. Gutierrez with a throw forward. Bolivia have been knocked out to the group stage of the last 4 Copa Americas, failing to win a game in the process. They've only reached the quarterfinals in 2 of the last 14 events, both in the mid-90s, 95 and 97. And bottom of Group A 4 years ago when the event was staged in Venezuela. Group which contained the hosts, Peru and Uruguay. They are widely expected to finish bottom of this group as well here, with Colombia and Costa Rica the other 2 sides, although Costa Rica are bringing their Olympic squad here, having played in the Gold Cup last month with their more experienced players. It's largely an under-23 squad for Costa Rica. The set piece given away though here by Argentina. Again, it's just been taken too quickly. So, quarter of an hour played. Bolivia slowly but surely gaining a foothold now in the match. It'll be Jaime Robles who will take this free kick. 5 players waiting inside the box in green shirts. Decent ball in. Flick of the head was from Moreno. Argentina escaped with a throw. Chelo Moreno has scored more goals for Bolivia than any other player in their squad for this tournament. 8 in 22 caps before tonight. One of those came in a 6-1 success against Argentina. And a recent home win against Brazil. He scored 7 goals in the qualifying campaign for the 2010 World Cup. A round-robin event, the qualifying for World Cups in South America. Bolivia finished 9th of the 10 teams in the region, just 15 points in their 18 games. Only Peru collected fewer. Foul on Banega by Robles. A mainstay of the Bolivian side, Jaime Robles, over the past year. He's only missed 1 of the last 8 internationals. Clear foul there on Banega. Last event, Argentina won all of their group games against Colombia, Paraguay and the USA. They then beat Peru in the last 8 and Mexico in the last 4. They lost in the final against Brazil by 3-0. Gustavo Quinteros is the man in charge of Bolivia. The man who was born here in Argentina. The man who is still yet to win a game in charge of Bolivia. It's his 6th match at the helm this evening. Only took charge back in November. It's a man who said he's trying to rebuild the confidence of the squad. It's been a past couple of years where Bolivian football has been constantly on the decline. Lovely dart forward here by Messi. Stopped in his tracks this time by the whistle of the referee. To see exactly what was wrong there. Messi will give chase again here. Sent back to Arias, the Bolivian keeper. Esteban Cambiasso. Timely slip there from Tevez. And here's Vaca. Moreno. Benito was covering in behind Bediso, but Bediso was penalised for the foul. Not for the first time in the opening 90 minutes here in the Plata. So he can't be too far away from a yellow card. Robles. Bit of a hospital pass out towards Gutierrez. Banega. It's Marcos Rojo. Banega again, has done superbly well. It's found Tevez. Messi. Here's Rojo. Early ball in towards Tevez. A slice from the defender there. Ronald Raúles, the Bolivian skipper. Began with fine work from Banega in midfield, then Messi's pass out wide, and Rojo went for the first time ball. Banega again, and now Messi. Digged in towards Cambiasso, up goes Bediso. Comfortable claim for Arias. Plays his football in Israel with Maccabi Netanya. He's named the best keeper in the Israeli league this season. Interesting character. He moved to Israel after receiving a 20-game suspension for stamping on the foot of a referee a few years ago in Bolivia. Temperamental customer. Here's Rojas. So his third game for Bolivia this evening. He's become a naturalised Bolivian after switching his allegiance from Brazil. Not the most physical team, Bolivia. The way this Argentina side is set up, it's not exactly designed to exploit that lack of physicality. Here's Campos. Bediso standing off, in from Robles. Here's Moreno, back to goal. He's found Vaca. Came off Benito, it's come loose again. And Rojas with a shot. Romero was right behind it. But a few warning signs there for Argentina. Rojas seems to have hurt himself in the process of getting the strike away. Plenty of green shirts in 4 positions. So he just slipped there, Edivaldo Rojas, as he just pulled the trigger. In the end, it was pretty comfortable for Romero. And it's that left knee which has taken a pounding. So while he receives some treatments, we can tell you about some more action coming up in the Copa America. Of course, every game live only here on ESPN. And the second favourites and the defending champions, Brazil, begin their campaign against Venezuela here in the Plata on Sunday at 8 PM live here on ESPN. And also later that evening, Paraguay take on Ecuador. That kicks off at 10:30 on ESPN and also available in high definition. And you can keep up to date with all the latest Copa America coverage on ESPN Soccernet, featuring match reports and live scores throughout the tournament. Go to espnsoccernet.com. So midway through the first half here, and he will be the happier manager, I'm sure, Gustavo Quinteros. Just 46 years of age, a man who played in several Copas for Bolivia. Still some treatment being administered here to Edivaldo Rojas. He's a man that Bolivia and their coach Quinteros would not want to lose so early on here. It's been a fairly assured start from the minnows of this group and indeed of the whole tournament. Just inside the top 100 in the world now in the rankings, Bolivia. They were once as high as the top 20 in the late 90s. They have possession once again here with Moreno feeding Rojas. It's a good brave piece defending there by Milito. Good blocking challenge. You can almost sense and hear the apprehension building amongst the Argentine public inside this stadium. Not content to see Bolivia enjoying so much attacking play. They have their first corner of the game here. Mosadito Vaca is the man who'll take it. He's taking it short. It's back with Vaca once again. Cambiasso clear. It's a very good defensive header. Here's Banega. And now Messi. Messi's pass forward was too heavy. The chance of a counter was spurned. It's Padiso of Roma. Cambiasso of Inter Milan. Messi of Barcelona. Turning towards goal again. Now Lavezzi, who's in behind. Lavezzi for Argentina. Perhaps their best sight of goal so far. The angle became ever tighter. Lovely ball slipped through though. And Lavezzi got in behind of Gutierrez for the first real time in the game. Had the glance up to his left-hand side, but there was no one there really in support. Cambiasso was arriving late. And Lavezzi dragged the shot wide. Man who helped Napoli into the top 4 of Serie A the season just gone. So they'll play in the Champions League next year, although Lavezzi's future is up for debate at the moment. There's been some speculation linking him with a move to England and to Manchester City. Here's Tevez. Could well be departing Manchester. Tevez turning well, and Tevez still driving on. The ricochet came to the favour of Carlos Arias. It's been ever present in the last 2 Copas for Argentina in both of their campaigns to the finals in 2007 and in 2004. Here's Vaca. Now Tevez. Mascherano. Foul on Messi by Ronald Rivero. That's what the small batch of Bolivian fans will want to see, their players getting tighter to Lionel Messi in that central area of the field of play. Here's Lavezzi again. Almost the early ball forward there, catching out Bolivia defensively. Quick thinking with the free kick from Mascherano. Lavezzi onside again. He felt he was just slightly nudged there by Gutierrez. Much ado about nothing. The most prolific goal scorer of Lavezzi. 1 goal in his 12 games for Argentina, just 6 goals in Serie A last year for Napoli. Only 36 in the last 4 years. It's an Argentine squad blessed with talent in that forward department. It's amazing when you look at their bench, which includes Aguero, Higuain and Diego Milito. Angel Di Maria as well can't get into this side. It's quite remarkable strength and depth in that department. It has been the defensive area though where they have been vulnerable over the past year or so, and even going further back. They would certainly be hoping for a clean sheet against Bolivia in this opening game tonight. Here's a Bolivian squad not blessed by goals. No one in the squad has over double figures for their country. Just 21 goals in total amongst the 23 players here. Here's Rojo. Tevez. Banega. Rojo with the throw. Cambiasso the furthest player forward. Rojo again. Cambiasso trying to turn, but a congested area down there. It's helped out here by Banega at a very bright start of the game. Certainly no doubt in the ability and the ball-playing skills of Banega. Have been some question marks over his temperament down the past couple of seasons. 48 years of age now, Batista. World Cup winner with Argentina in 1986 and a finalist in Italia 90. So had some good wins in his time in charge so far. 4-1 success against the world champions Spain. A 1-0 win against Brazil in Doha. A 2-1 success a few months back against Portugal. But this is where it really matters now for the Argentinian public in these competitive games in the big tournaments. Mascherano. Lavezzi the outlet once again. Bediso. It's Gabriel Milita. Didn't enjoy the best of seasons with Barcelona last year. Found game time hard to come by in Pep Guardiola's plans. So much so, he's been rumoured to be on the verge of a move to Bayern Munich in this summer transfer window. Just past the half-hour mark, still goalless here, but here goes Messi for Argentina. Options left and right, he's picked out Tevez. He saw a gap down by the near post, but a gap which was quickly closed by Arias. Good pace injected there by Messi. Banega's corner. Tevez. Messi juggling away. Good challenge by Mascherano. Banega, Tevez. It's fine defending there by Raulez. Got his body between man and ball. Got goal side of Tevez. Very experienced defender. His 56th cap tonight. He plays here in Argentina with Colón. He had Cambiasso to his right side, he picked out Tevez to his left. Pretty ambitious try from Tevez to go for the near post rather than the far. First half of frustration largely so far for Batista, but certainly signs of creativity amongst his team here. Bediso. Messi. Lavezzi. Tevez waits in the centre. Lavezzi cuts inside. It's Messi. It's been spilled. Cambiasso! Somehow couldn't force the ball home. Well, you have to say it was poor goalkeeping, but then poor finishing by Esteban Cambiasso. Lavezzi once more surging inside. So simple, Messi's ball forward to claim there by the goalkeeper. But it fell for Cambiasso, and it should be 1-0 Argentina. Here's a resulting corner. It's well defended by Alvarez. Just seems slow to react there, Esteban Cambiasso. He scored 5 goals for his country. Of which was in March against the USA. A few jeers here from the home fans inside this stadium as they believe here that Alvarez is guilty of some gamesmanship. Will be an Argentina throw. Rojo will take it. They'll try and maintain this pressure here on this Bolivian goal. for by Rojas. Cambiasso. Guilty of missing, without question, the best chance of the game so far. Banega. Able to turn and dart forward. His move forward was swiftly ended. And we will now see the first yellow card of the tournament. It will be given here to Walter Flores. 32-year-old midfield man. Play on towards Messi. A bit of actors there involving Messi and Raldez, and some head-to-head as well between the two players. Raldez, the Bolivian skipper, she's perhaps trying to rile Messi there, who will do well to walk away. Didn't seem to be too much untoward initially, but obviously a few words spoken out of turn between the two players. The referee now stepping in. And Messi was sent off on his international debut. Inauspicious start to his Argentina career. This was the carrying together here. Maybe the arm flailing there from Lionel Messi. Should mention the disciplinary situation in this tournament. If players pick up 2 yellow cards, they will miss the next game. There is an amnesty though before the knockout stages of players who have 1 yellow card of their name. The foul from Flores, which saw him enter the referee's notebook. Ten minutes to half-time. A game where Bolivia would view a point as a huge bonus. Remember, the top 2 teams go straight through to the quarter-final stage, and then the 2 best third-place sides join them in the last 8. If Bolivia were to somehow steal a point here and then get a win perhaps against Costa Rica, they would certainly stand a decent chance of qualifying for the quarter-finals. They are one of 7 teams to win this event. That was 48 years ago when they beat Brazil 5-4 in a remarkable final, when they were coached by a Brazilian, Danilo Alvim, one of only 2 foreign coaches to win the event. The other one was Englishman Jack Greenwell, who won with Peru back in 1939. Yellow card now shown for dissent, I can only imagine there, for Carlos Tevez. And it was a fairly lenient start from the referee Roberto Silveira, but 2 yellow cards in quick succession now. Wasn't too much untoward with the free kick itself, but you can see the arm went flailing there from Tevez afterwards. Here's Mascherano. Before this game was adamant that the team must play to Messi's strengths. He also said Argentina have a duty to win the event here on home soil. He was part of the team which finished second in the last 2 Copa Americas. He was given the armband by Diego Maradona before the last World Cup. Given away here poorly, and a chance perhaps for Rojas. Here's Vaca. In towards the far post, and Campos, who was waiting. Lavezzi back in the right-back position here to help out. Zanetti, dispossessed, but dispossessed unfairly. Here comes yellow card number 3 of this first half. Here's Luis Gutierrez, the latest name in the book, the second for Bolivia. There was the foul there by Gutierrez, a nibble in the back of the ankle area of Zanetti. Here's Moreno. Well defended by Batista. Banega. Lavezzi stretching, linking with Cambiasso. Here's Cambiasso again, left now for Messi. Rivero in the way. Messi was appealing there that he was being impeded. It's been a pretty bitty opening half here, and that's certainly been to the benefit of Bolivia. No fluency yet so far from the tournament favourites Argentina. Been the odd flash of Messi magic. Lavezzi and Tevez as well have been pretty busy, but no sustained spells of pressure. Given away now by Zanetti. Not for the first time his touch has let him down. Rivero up towards Moreno, trying to get the better of Batista and succeeding. Still with Moreno. He actually had Rojas square but ignored the pass. Mascherano now for Argentina. Long one sent forward towards Messi. The pass more of hope there than any great creativity for Mascherano. Did anger some of the watching public, Batista, by not playing some of the big names in the warm-up games for this tournament. Have a pretty tough start to his reign, to be fair, Sergio Batista. Such fallout after the last World Cup. Many wanted Diego Maradona to stay in charge, but a deal couldn't be agreed to suit him. And he's not been quiet since leaving his post. He's offered his opinions on a regular basis as to who Batista should be selecting and the tactics he should be employing. Batista mistimed the jump. Here's Moreno. Rojas is forward, so too is Campos. Moreno now has been forced wide by Gabriel Milito. It's good defending by the Barcelona man. More cheers, more frustration mounting in the stands. Here's Campos. Zanetti forward. Moreno. Flag was up for offside there, but the referee will allow play to continue here with Argentina still in possession. Last time Argentina hosted the Copa America was back in 1987, when again they came in as tournament favourites, having won the World Cup the preceding year. They finished a disappointing fourth back then. To say in terms of the job prospects of Batista, failure here would be unthinkable. Failure will be certainly not to reach the final at the very least. Mascherano. Lost this time by Rowe. A spell here of errant passes from Argentina. Here's Messi. Messi lost the ball and trying to win it back, gave away the free kick. The demeanour there of Batista tells the story of this first half, in which there is just over 1 minute of normal time to play. Rivera, Campos, touched on towards Rojas, defended by Bediso. Here's Mascherano. Tevez chasing, Raúl covering. Tevez now has to watch his step, having been cautioned. And good pressure there from Carlos Tevez. What he's all about. Out of nowhere, he's earned his team a corner. Poor one to concede for Bolivia. Can they be made to pay here? Banega. They'll slip allowed to Lito Vaca to swipe the ball to safety. Seconds away from the half-time whistle. Banega. Plenty of bend on the ball, but the bend was in the wrong direction. Took it away from goal. Even if they were to draw this opening game, Argentina, it would certainly be far from terminal in terms of their prospects of qualifying from the group. But it would do little to appease the viewing public here and at home all across this country. As you can see, just 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half, of which we've played almost half. Lavezzi was caught there. There will be a late set-piece chance in this first half for Argentina. Lavezzi. Came Gutierrez. Throw has gone Bolivia's way. We'll see what Lavezzi feels about that. Having seen Tevez cautioned for dissent, I think Lavezzi might just do well to calm down here. So that's half-time, and no goal so far in the Copa America of 2011. The host nation, Argentina, so far stifled here by the minnows of Bolivia. Argentina have had the better of the chance in the first half, particularly for Esteban Cambiasso, a game which became more tempestuous as it went on. But Bolivia will be more than happy with the half-time scoreline here. So Tevez and co leave the field of play, knowing they must up their game, because the half-time score here, Argentina 0, Bolivia 0.
Argentina the lead in Group A at La Plata at half-time.
Which could well see them go all the way towards the final once again this year. Argentina would meet Brazil in the final if the event was to go to form and the two big seeds were to get that far. A couple of dark horses though to watch out for. Uruguay, who was so impressive last year at the World Cup in South Africa, and perhaps Colombia, who some have picked out as a potential surprise team this year when they had the likes of Falcao up front, who had a fantastic goal-scoring year with Porto in their year of superb success, both at home and on the European front, winning a treble, of course, including the UEFA Europa League this year with their win against Braga in the final in Dublin. So they could be a team to watch out for in the events over the next couple of weeks. Bolivia would take the full-time whistle now. If they were to get a point here in this opening game, they will then look towards their next match, which is against Costa Rica, which is just over the Bolivian border in Jujuy, up towards the north of Argentina. So Bolivia would hope that they would have many of their fans who would cross over the border, make that short journey to the higher altitude, which always favours Bolivia. And if they were to win that game there, they would stand a chance of perhaps going into the quarter-final stage of the Copa America, somewhere where they have failed to reach in the last 4 events. So both teams back out on the field of play. It was a lively first half display from Lionel Messi. Carlos Tevez had one straight towards goal in the opening period, but Carlos Arias, the Bolivian keeper, is yet to be beaten. There will be a half-time change here for Argentina. As you can see, Angel Di Maria is ready and waiting to enter the fray. Let's see who is set to replace here. We'll confirm that change for you. Sergio Batista, the Argentine coach, shuffling his pack in the hunt for goals here and in the hunt for maximum points on this opening night. No lack of atmosphere amongst 50,000 spectators at this Estadio Ciudad de la Plata. Temperature dropping all the time, deep in the South American winter here in Argentina. Plenty of layers on, and not too much to cheer so far for the home faithful. So still Di Maria waiting on this near side. Finally he will be allowed to enter the pitch. So the first alteration of the game. And for his 21st cap for Argentina. A fine first year this year in Spain with Real Madrid. So Argentina get the second half underway here in La Plata, hoping to improve their performance here and start this Copa America campaign with a win in this opening match. Bolivia in the green shirts, now playing from right to left after half-time. Here's Marcelo Moreno straight away, their lone striker. Diego Milito's younger brother there, Gabriel Milito, the man going across to cover. Here's Mascherano. The onus very much on the home side here to come out and play now. Just try and pen Bolivia back. Despite the failings of Argentina in the first half, Bolivia have yet to have a chance of their own in the game. Confirmation is Esteban Cambiasso, who is the man who is being taken off to see Di Maria come on. So a change in shape and system here now for Argentina. They began with the 4-3-3, with Cambiasso in midfield alongside Banega and Mascherano, with Lavezzi, Messi and Tevez up front. Wait and see how the change in formation pans out as this second half goes on. But Batista thought he had to make a change. He's a man with a reputation as being a pretty good tactician. Here's Yasmani Campos for Bolivia. Javier Zanetti playing at right back for Argentina with the tackle. Big turnover in personnel defensively for Argentina. The likes of Nicolas Otamendi, Gabriel Heinze, Martin Demichelis have all been sidelined now under this new regime. Zanetti is back in the fold. Here's Campos with the corner, outswing it, flick towards goal. Did it cross the line? Bolivia claims so, and the goal has been given. Bolivia lead the opening game of the Copa America. A calamitous moment for Argentina, and the hosts and the favourites fall behind on home soil. Corner played in by Campos. It was flicked towards goal by Rojas, and somehow it squirmed in. Banega there by the post. Romero desperately trying to keep the ball out. Bolivia can't believe their luck. Rojas with his first goal for Bolivia. And what a shock scoreline here in La Plata. It was awful set-piece defending from Argentina. And Banega there by the post, the man most to blame. Now we will find out what Argentina are really made of. Di Maria with the dart forward. And Bolivia now will just be desperate to hang on. Remember, they won the last meeting between these two sides by 6-1. They would take 1-0 here without question. Lavezzi with a header. couple of yards wide in the end. The home side here trying to hit back straight away. Such a shock to their system. But Gustavo Quinteros there, the Bolivian coach, searching for the first win of his reign. And you could not have dreamt of a better start to this second half. The 14th time these two sides have met each other in the Copa America. Bolivia have never beaten Argentina in the Copa outside of their home nation. Stand on the verge here of a monumental victory. There is still plenty of time left to go though here. Messi for Argentina. Tevez. Mascherano. And Bolivia ranked 97th in the world. It's just a lack of composure and concentration there on the post by Banega. Allowed the ball to squirm beyond, and there are question marks whether the whole ball crossed the goal line. Let's have a look again here. Was pretty sure. So too was the assistant, and he was the man that mattered. And Bolivia coming forward again with Rojas again. Zanetti. Such a mood of expectancy before this tournament began for Argentina. That pressure is intensified now on the shoulder of Sergio Batista. Here's Banega. Rojo. Angel Di Maria. Yet to make his mark in the game since coming off the bench. Tussling away now with Lucio Alvarez, the right back. Here's Moreno. Florence. Now Vaca. They'll be happy to slow the pace here, Bolivia. Take as much time as they possibly can over these dead ball situations. Just keep frustrating Argentina. A flick inside by Roja. Like on the way here, Moreno. Batista won the header. Messi having to drop so deep here to get possession. Lavezzi. Tevez inside of him. Lavezzi still charging forward. Just lost his balance as he sent the ball across. Well, in 13 matches since the World Cup last year, Argentina have lost only 3 times. 2 of those games were with their B team, as I mentioned, the first half against Nigeria and Poland just over a month or so ago. The other defeat came against the Japanese back in October. This in their first competitive game since the World Cup. Would be a remarkable result if it was to stay this way. Campos with the throw. Here's Banega, will be desperate to atone for his error. Messi. The beating of the first two defenders. Lavezzi, slip from Tevez. Allows Walter Flores to come back and regain possession of Bolivia. This is Campos. In went Banega. Campos goes to ground, tackles flying in now. And the tackle was from Lavezzi. And the yellow card's out here. Lavezzi, the fourth player booked in the game so far, joining Carlos Tevez, his Argentine compatriot. Had the barge there, then just overzealous in that second challenge. Frustration boiling over. Try and clarify here whether the ball did cross the line. You can see there it just about did. Just square between the legs of Banega. Romero desperately trying to get there in time, but just about there. You see the whole of the ball has crossed the line, and it was a good decision. He can barely believe his luck. The youngest and least experienced coach in this group, his first competitive game in charge of Bolivia. Well, Gustavo Quinteros stands on the verge of an historic result. Here's Campos. Foul given against Mascherano. I think a taken free kick. Who are we talking to here from Roberto Silveira? Can lightning strike twice here with a set piece for Bolivia? Actually, Bedisto, who's penalised. Appeared to be too much contact there. The foul was given for a push in the back of Moreno. Campos and Vaca standing over the ball. Left by Vaca, bent in by Campos. The most convincing punch away by Romero. Here's Di Maria, turned on by Zanetti. And now Lavezzi. Tevez wants the ball early. Lavezzi striding away. Di Maria waiting too. And for the second time in quick succession, quality final ball lacking from Lavezzi. Did so well, did all the hard work. So literally bombed down this right flank. And the beating of Vaca hurdled the challenge there of Flores, who had to be careful. He's a man on a yellow card. And with Tevez and Di Maria both waiting, Lavezzi skied the ball in. We're still over half an hour to go here. Time is still very much on Argentina's side. Edivaldo Rojas, the goal scorer, with the foul there. Man playing just his third game for Bolivia. Foul by Campos on Messi. Banega. Beating the bent wide for Di Maria. And Di Maria coming inside. Still Di Maria, very good tackle by Ronald Raúles. It was perfectly timed, he won the ball cleanly. Had to get it spot on as well. Di Maria doing really well here. It's been spilt though. Well, the chance and nothing there for Argentina. This was the chance here, was Lionel Messi trying to lift the ball over Arias. Bolivia escape with a corner. Taken by Mascherano. Almost came the way of Gabriel Milito. Picked away bravely to safety. And Bolivia just hanging on here. First spell the real pressure after half-time on the Bolivian goal. Here's Di Maria. Comes Robles. Things just not falling Argentina's way. Here was Di Maria's dart forward again. Hurling between tackles. Very good tackle though. Ronald Raúlez. Perfectly timed. Just past the hour mark in the Plata. Argentina 0, Bolivia 1. Here's the shock scoreline in the opening game of the 2011 Copa America. This is Milito. Now Bediso. Players camp behind the ball now for Bolivia. Banega. Drifting past Vaca. It's Gabriel Milito searching forward. Trying to play in Rojo. He's advancing up from left back. We had said before the event, Batista, he had more than one eye on preparing this Argentina team for the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. Qualifying process for which begins not too long after this tournament. But in the here and now, potentially embarrassing results lies on the horizon. Brought on one of his super subs, Angel Di Maria. Remember the likes of Aguero and Higuain. Also waiting as Rojas strides forward again now. Got the shot in, and took a nick off Gabriel Milito. And straight into the arms of Sergio Romero. To say he's barely made a save in the game. A couple of pretty tame efforts have come his way. And he was beaten by that squirming flick towards goal from Rojas just after half-time. Lionel Messi. So often talked about as an underperformer for Argentina. Now it's his time to step up to the mark. Bediso. Mascherano. Zanetti to hold off Campos, and he was fouled. Will be a Bolivia change coming soon. Might well come now before this free kick is taken. Jose Luis Chavez, who is waiting to emerge, a man who will make his Copa debut. Take the place of Joselito Vaca. So one midfield man replaced by another. Chavez off the bench for the 5th game in a row for Bolivia. Here's Banega, barraging his way through. Banega's throw. Tevez couldn't control. Zanetti covering for Argentina. 31 previous meetings, Bolivia have won just 6 games against Argentina. Gone 9 games without a win against anyone now, Bolivia. It's over 3 years since their last win away from Bolivian soil. March of 2008, 13 games ago. They lead here in La Plata in front of 50,000 expectant Argentinians. Here's a mistake though, Lavezzi pouncing, and Gutierrez back with the vital tackle to atone for his first mistake. Zanetti. Gutierrez, who was the man closest to him again. Moreno, the only player forward now for Bolivia. But mopping up that time was Milita. Campos, on towards Moreno, who's onside, there's no flag, it's Moreno for Bolivia, a great chance for 2, Romero with a touch, it's still with Moreno, and Romero gathers, and what a let-off there for Argentina. They could and perhaps should be 2 behind. Di Maria. Gutierrez away to safety. Such a simple ball played forward. Got in behind of the Argentine back line there, Marcelo Moreno. But he could not beat the Argentine keeper. Romero, who got the first touch and then got back to his feet swiftly. Lavezzi. Looking for Messi. Asking too much. Well, he's perhaps kept his team in the game. It was a close call for an offside. It was Bediso who stepped up too late. See, there was no green shirts there in support. There's a chance. Flashes just wide there from Di Maria. He's becoming more involved now since coming on at half-time, Angel Di Maria. Took his time to find the pace of the game. This was his turn to get in behind. Again, a simple long ball punted downfield. Very good chance there for Argentina, perhaps their best after half-time. Banega. Lavezzi. A quarter of the game to go. Here the fans now getting on the backs of the Argentinian players again. Di Maria. All left foot, Di Maria trying to bend the outside of his left boot towards the far post. This is Mascherano. Tevez. Foul from behind by Ronald Rivero. And it could be a costly one to give away here. The free kick certainly in shooting range. Team not short of free kick specialists in Argentina. See the spray being administered again there by the referee to signify where the 10-yard ball should be placed. Can Messi here drag his team back level? perfect range. Need a hero. That's his free kick off the wall. And behind for the corner. The required elevation there from Messi. It's Walter Flores who has gone down, holding his face. Messi and 50,000 other Argentinians feeling there was some play acting going on there. Some time delaying tactics from the Bolivian midfielder. Is allowing the physio to come on. Yeah, physio's been told to swiftly leave the field of play. So too is Flores. So Bolivia will defend this corner with just 10 men. Before the corner, a second change for Argentina. Off goes Ezequiel Lavezzi. The man who comes on, Sergio Aguero. His Copa debut. Here's the corner. That's met by Gabriel Milito. And a shot back in from Mascherano. It was firmly hit, plenty of power, but it was always rising off target. Pretty sweetly, Mascherano. He scored twice in the last Copa. In fact, his last goal came in that tournament in July of 2007 against Peru. Only scored 2 goals. This is his 70th cap for Argentina tonight. So Batista's made the 2 changes, bringing on Di Maria and Aguero. Can they try and change the fortunes of this opening game here, Argentina? And 2 games to come for the host nation in this group stage. They play Colombia next on Wednesday in Santa Fe, and then Costa Rica a week on Monday in Cordoba. 2 wins would guarantee their progress, so even defeat here would not be terminal. Mero's come a long way out here and not got the ball. Moreno's only decided to throw. It's a tough job for Moreno, the lone striker. Little support all game long, but he's worked tirelessly. Doing a superb shift for his team, the man who plays for Shakhtar Donetsk in the Ukraine. One of only 5 Bolivian players to play outside their home country. Time for urgency for Argentina now. Sergio Aguero taking the fight to Bolivia. Aguero going all alone. That's the spark they've been missing. Did well to win the ball back first of all, Sergio Aguero. And then get his head down and dart between the defenders. He now knows time is starting to tick away. Argentine football was shocked just a week ago by the surprise relegation of River Plate, who went down for the first time in their history in Argentine domestic football. There could be yet more shockwaves to come if this scoreline stays this way. Slice there from Romero, but fortunate not to be made to pay. It's Campos with the throw. Rojas, the goal scorer. Comfortable for an unchallenged Romero. Here's Banega. Messi. Challenged by Flores. Messi. Pushed out to Robles, and Bolivia had the throw. They played a patient game here, Bolivia. Their moment arrived soon after half-time with the corner which was poorly defended. First clear sight of goal in the game. Still the difference between the two teams here. Zanetti. Javier Mascherano. Now Messi. Foul. Yellow card for Chavez. Rojo. And a wonderful goal from Sergio Aguero. Off the bench, the saviour for Argentina. A thumping volley. A fantastic noise inside the stadium. And the host nation back on level terms. And what a hit that was. Di Maria's ball in. Chested down by Berizzo. And there was no stopping that one. Brought off the bench just moments ago by Batista. And Argentina might yet get out of jail in this opening fixture. It was a bolt from the blue. Wonderful technique, a sumptuous goal. Aguero's 11th for his country. His first in a Copa tournament. You get the sense now this Copa has come alive with the home fans now in full voice, urging their team on again, with Angel Di Maria going forward. Now the mood has changed with one swing of that right boot from Sergio Aguero. Here's Di Maria. Tevez. Almost picked out Aguero again. Zanetti. The old stager driving on, it's still with Zanetti. Can he figure out a teammate here? He went towards Aguero. Ronaldo's got the tackle in. Rojo. The tide has turned here big time. Messi. Banega. Di Maria. Down very cheaply, with the referee very close by. Aguero had been on the pitch for just 6 minutes before he scored the equalising goal for Argentina. Just confirmed the yellow card shown a moment or two ago to Jose Luis Chavez, the Bolivian substitute. Here's Messi, now it's Tevez, it's Aguero again. Aguero, well kept out, and Di Maria on the half volley, shanks the ball wide. Chances coming now for Argentina. They are turning up the heat. Aguero searching for his second, bending the ball with the outside of the right foot towards the far post, but the better chance fell the way of Di Maria. Couldn't keep the ball down here on the half volley. Wild lash of that left foot. And it was some way off target. Tevez again. Aguero. Feels for handball against Rivero. Referee says no. Now a chance of a potential Bolivian breakaway with Rojas. Moreno waits in the centre. Alito with a header clear, not too far though. Just come the way here of Flores. Rojas. Well, there are 10 minutes left here for Argentina to make it a winning start to their Copa America campaign, their quest for a first trophy since 1993 and their 15th Copa success. Another change in the meantime here for Bolivia. The forward thrown on, Juan Carlos Arce is the player who now enters the fray for them. In place of Yasmani Campos. Here is Arce straight away. The big test of Argentina's resolve on this opening night. A test many would not have predicted. Bolivia are meant to be the whipping boys in this group. Even a draw here for the host nation would be deemed to be a huge failure in this first match. But Aguero's in again here. Find a way through beyond goalkeeper and defender. And more time wasting here, more delaying tactics. That's good defending by Raúl. He was strong there. Made sure that Aguero didn't get between him and the goalkeeper. 27 goals this season just gone for Atletico Madrid. Sergio Aguero been linked with a move away from Spanish football this summer. A host of European clubs, a host of the top clubs circling for his signature. Man with a €45 million buyout clause. He said he won't decide his future until after this tournament. His last goal for Argentina came after coming off the bench against Albania last week. He actually scored his first ever international goal against Bolivia in 2007. And he scored a big one here this evening. And a goal of the highest quality. On this opening night of the tournament, it could well be a contender for one of the goals of the tournament.
Tore the calf when trying to score in a rare 2-1 defeat for Barcelona against Sociedad at the end of April. Di Maria. Half-time substitute, rather too hasty in his attempts to release Aguero again. Just a bit more purpose now from Argentina. Plenty of the first half possession, but little to show for it.
The thing is now what they've got on is they've got individuals in there as well now that they're not just relying on one player to take people on and beat 3 or 4 players. Now you've got Di Maria who quite easily can take players on.
Here's Arce. Rojas waits in the middle.
Options here. Fantastic block. Another near escape there for Argentina. Robles again. Zanetti away, anywhere will do. Well, Bolivia still showing signs of ambition here. They're still fully aware this Argentine defence can be vulnerable. Aguero goes down, referee plays the advantage, it's with Messi. Referee says the ball was won. It's brought away by Raúl, the defender. Here's Di Maria. Banega. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Javier Mascherano. Lofted long for Aguero, a chase on here with Gutierrez. A race won by the Bolivian left back. It's great play here by Bolivia, surging green shirts forward when you'd have thought they would just sit back and defend. The block was by Mascherano, the captain showing the way. Zanetti. Messi jinking through. Tevez trying to turn. Didn't really catch the shot, no real conviction. Just amazing how Messi is able to find space where it seems to be non-existent. Well, this is the equalising goal again, and a strike to savour. The technique is quite majestic. A superb goal from Sergio Aguero. Mascherano for Argentina.
Inside their own half. Hardly time for the referee from Uruguay to flourish a yellow card in the direction of Jose Chavez, but Argentina were able to.
Watching on from all of the top European sides and across the world. Valdez will have impressed this evening. Batista knows the headlines will be scathing if his team fails to win here tonight. Down goes Messi, free kick Argentina. Taken too quickly. And the yellow card is shown, this time to Ronald Rivero. Fourth player now cautioned for Bolivia this evening. Sixth in the match in total. This is Rojo. Milito. Clicked on by Aguero. Anywhere will do for Gutierrez. Moreno, the only player in the Argentine half now. In goes Mascherano. Aguero tussling away. It's come the way of Di Maria. Rojo. Banega. Messi towards Banega again. Crucial touch to send the ball behind for the corner from Valdez. They are coming ever closer now, Argentina. Can they find the winning goal here? It's Di Maria with the corner. Up goes Bediso. It's come to Banega. Messi. All the way back with Zanetti. Chance of Bolivia to push out. They are defending ever deeper now, inviting Argentina onto them. Messi somehow managed to keep possession. Di Maria wants the ball to his left. Here is Di Maria. Bent in towards Tevez. Good brave goalkeeping by Carlos Arias. Got there in front of Tevez, put his body on the line. Tevez waiting there to poach and to pounce. Well, we're now in the 90th minute here. There'll be a final change of the game for Bolivia. Referee urging a bit more urgency as the change is made. Rudy Cardozo, who comes off the bench in place of the man who scored the Bolivian goal, the first of his Bolivian career, Edivaldo Rojas. A goal which would have made him a hero back in La Paz and beyond. So we're about to enter stoppage time. All eyes now on the fourth official. How much added time will there be? Milito. Banega. It's all about urgency now here for Argentina. Bolivia will be far more content with the points. The point gives them a real chance of qualifying for the quarterfinals of the event. Here's Aguero. Now Messi. Of course, it's not just qualifying for Argentina that matters, it's how they perform, how they play. With such a demanding public, always right on their backs. Here's Banega. Milito. Zanetti. Mascherano. No foul given. How much ambition and adventure will Bolivia show here? Zanetti back with the covering tackle. When you look on paper here, these two teams and their pedigree, Bolivia should be swept aside by Argentina, the team ranked 6th in the world against the team ranked 97th. Banega. There's a foul on Di Maria. A late set piece chance, a quick free kick for Argentina. It's Di Maria towards Pardiso, and Tevez was lurking. Pardiso went searching up from defence here. Di Maria in behind, not for the first time, some space for Pardiso. Unable to get the power or the accuracy there to really trouble Carlos Arias. Deep into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. And it's Bolivia on the front foot, Argentina being penned back. It's the small travelling band of Bolivian supporters in full voice here. It's all over in La Plata, and a shock start to the 2011 Copa America. The favourites and the hosts, Argentina, held to a draw by the minnows of Bolivia. Messi and co failed to hit the heights again here, and the jeers and the frustration evident.
Disappointment for Argentina, despite the introduction of Ángel Di Maria and Sergio Aguero, who was able to lead the response with an equalising goal. A fantastic effort by Kun Aguero. But the script was written for an Argentinian win. It hasn't happened. The headline makers on the opening day of the Copa America 2011 really are Bolivia. They've struggled in World Cup qualifying, but they thumped Argentina 6-1 in La Paz. And they've produced a shock now in La Plata. But it was finished Argentina 1, Bolivia 1. They're entitled to go across to applaud them.